Some movie characters snap, while others completely blow their fuse. They've either been pushed around for far too long,
I showed up! I was standing there for you!
or can't contain their true feelings anymore.
I'm the police! I run shit here! You just live here!
So here are 10 of the most valid crash-outs in cinema history. Starting with Walter White from Breaking Bad. A TV series so legendary, I had to bend the rules a little bit and mention it in my cinema video. In the show, Walter starts out as a high school chemistry teacher moonlighting at a car wash. And much like my brain during an organic chemistry lecture, his life was a real mess. With terminal lung cancer and a son with cerebral palsy, a pregnant wife, and a meager salary, he finally broke bad. Because frankly, how much worse could it possibly get? So good old Walter started cooking meth. Not for the money, but because for the first time in his life, he was the smartest person in the room. And everyone knew it. But at home, still just Walter. The man whose spine was so soft that his wife Skylar could have spread it on toast.
You're not some hardened criminal, Walt. You are in over your head.
Until one day, the pushover decided to introduce himself properly.
Who are you talking to right now? Who is it you think you see?
Now that was valid. This man had been underestimated his entire adult life and finally drew the line. But this is also the exact moment where Walter White stopped being the pushover and became Heisenberg.
I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
He chose this moment on purpose, in his wife's face without blinking. Now, Walter may have flipped out behind closed doors, but this next crash out from Terrence Fletcher in Whiplash was done in full view of everyone. You see, Fletcher doesn't crash out because something bad happened to him. He loses his cool because it is 9 a.m. and someone played slightly off tempo.
Barker, that is not your boyfriend's dick. Do not come early.
Ooh, gotta hand it to him. That roast was too clean. But besides being an elite roast master, Fletcher runs the most elite jazz program in the country with a simple philosophy. If you're not bleeding from the effort, you're not trying hard enough. And if you are trying hard enough, well, it's still not hard enough.
5, 6, and. Dragging just a hair.
Andrew Neiman wanted to be the greatest drummer who ever lived. Instead, he got Fletcher, who rushed into the basics in no time.
Count again.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rushing or dragging?
Rushing.
So you do know the difference.
As Andrew continued to struggle, Fletcher nearly assaulted the drummer. Is this really a valid crash out? The man is clinically abusive, terrorizing a teenager in front of an entire jazz band. But Fletcher would argue that he is forging greatness through destruction, which is exactly what makes his music school elite.
You deliberately sabotaged my band. I will f you like a pig. Now, are you a rusher, or are you a dragger, or are you gonna be on my time?
I'm gonna be on your time.
Damn, time has never felt so important, man. You deeply disagree with Fletcher's methods, but you also kind of get it. The bad tempo is all too real for him, and he can't stand it. But imagine crashing out over hallucination. Something that isn't even real. Well, that's Homelander for you. Here's the thing about the leader of the Seven. He doesn't need a reason to be dangerous. He is the reason. But even he needed something to push him to the edge of full public humiliation. And Vought gave it to him. During a mission overseas, Homelander used his heat vision to eliminate a superpowered terrorist threat. Standard operation. Except one of the blasts went wide, and a teenager bystander caught it. Vought scrubbed the footage immediately and tried to bury it. But it got out anyway. Protesters flooded the streets, and boy, they were not the polite kind. They were ready to look a superhuman god in the face and give him a piece of their mind. So Vought did what Vought does, put a microphone in front of Homelander and told him to fix it with a speech.
And so, sometimes, well, these things just happen.
The crowd doesn't buy it. Instead of applause, he gets a chant.
Relax.
That's when his brain does something it's never done before.
Damn!
He sees himself massacring every single person in that square. The whole thing is a hallucination, but in full sensory detail. Enough to make Homelander have a mental breakdown at the thought of what he could have done. Watching the most powerful man on the planet get undone by public rejection, the one thing he cannot laser into submission is genuinely one of the most unsettling moments in television. A PR disaster would also be the reason for this next crash out by the Joker, who refused to stand for any sort of public humiliation. Arthur Fleck was handed the worst possible life and was told to smile through it. He laughed uncontrollably at the last moments due to an unfortunate neurological condition. The society's cruelty eventually seeped into his career, as Arthur was relentlessly mocked even on live TV as a failed comedian.
Everyone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now.
You can say that again, pal.
So when his idol, Murray Franklin, invited him on TV, Arthur was not in a very forgiving mood.
You're awful, Murray.
Me? I'm awful? Oh yeah, how am I awful?
Playing my video.
And that was the last straw that led to this crazy crash out.
I don't think so.
When you cross
I think
a
we're
mentally
done
ill
with you,
loner
George.
with
That's
a
it.
society that abandons him and treats him like trash,
Call the police,
I'll
Gene.
tell you what you
Call
get.
the police.
You get what you fucking deserve.
Talk about a failed comedian who told a joke so good it blew the host's mind. Literally. The Joker's reaction may have been extreme, but you understand how he got here. The insanity somehow makes sense when you put it in perspective. Nothing, meanwhile, made sense to Alonzo Harris, who suddenly found himself powerless. For most of training day, corrupt police officer Alonzo Harris looks completely untouchable.
Bad news, dog. You don't mind if I have some of your $300 glass shit there with you? Please.
The streets know his name and the gangs move when he says so. He drives through South Central with the confidence of a man who genuinely believes he is above any consequence. Well, it turns out he isn't.
You motherfucker!
After his scheme falls apart, the Russian mafia reveals he owes them $1 million by midnight or he's dead. So he goes back to the neighborhood that once feared and respected him, the people he thought he owned.
Got us twisted, homie. You gotta put your own work in around here.
It's like that, Bone?
It's like that.
After they refuse to help him, the once feared Alonzo now realizes how powerless he has become and snaps into his epic crash out.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay, all right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of who the fuck you think you fucking with. I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here.
Is this a valid crash out? Oh, not even a little. Alonzo made every single choice that led him here. Still, it made for such a strong acting performance that it won Denzel Washington an Oscar. Few things are as annoying as finding out that you have been a pawn in someone else's game. And when Wolverine discovers he's dispensable in Deadpool and Wolverine, he doesn't react too kindly. Some background first. Logan died in 2017. He saved the next generation of mutants, made peace with everything, and finally got to stop. Then, Wade Wilson showed up.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
Deadpool framed it as two legends saving the multiverse together. Logan, as always, was skeptical, but he went along. Because somewhere under all the emo energy and adamantium, there was still a hero in there. Except this was never about saving the multiverse. Wade needed a weapon, and specifically needed a broken version of Logan, one who had failed and was desperate enough to say yes to anything.
Lie to me. You don't have a fucking clue if they can help me fix things, do you? No, I mean...
No!
So what happens after Logan figures out he was chosen precisely because he was broken enough to be used?
I have never met a sadder, more attention-starved, jabbering little prick in my entire life, and that says a lot, because I've been alive for more than 200 fucking years. And you will never save the world. You couldn't even save a relationship with a goddamn stripper.
Ouch!
That's crazy.
Those are some very cutting words from the Clawed Beast. From Weapon X to government programs to now this. Logan's entire existence has been people turning him into a tool. So yeah, the crash out was valid and overdue by about 150 years.
I'm tired, boss.
Meanwhile, Channing Tatum's Mark Schultz in Foxcatcher was a classic depiction of an introvert's crash out. Mark Schultz was a gold medalist, but despite his achievements, he has always been seen as Dave's little brother.
Hey, Mark. You know the guys from USA Wrestling?
Dave was the star and coach. He was the guy everyone wanted a photo with. And Mark? Well, he was the guy standing next to Dave in every photo. Then Joe DuPont, one of the richest, most eccentric men in America, offered Mark something nobody had given him before, the spotlight.
What do you hope to achieve, Mark?
I want to be the best in the world.
Good.
Dupont, therefore, blessed Mark with his own money and training facilities. For Mark, this felt like the first time in his life someone actually really believed in him. But Dupont's version of support came wrapped in psychological manipulation, isolation, and the slow erosion of whatever self-worth the gold medal had built.
You ungrateful ape.
So, after losing a competition in front of Dupont, Mark doesn't handle it too well. There's no external target here. The crash out is entirely inward. And that's what makes it the hardest to watch on this entire list, because it also hits a little too close to home for many of us. Next is Jake Gyllenhaal, who starred as Jeff Bauman in Stronger, crashing out over what would be good news under any other circumstance. The movie covers the aftermath of the tragic 2013 Boston Marathon bombing, and Jeff is one of the people whose life has been changed forever.
So I gotta tell you, there was an explosion, and your legs, they're gone, bro.
While standing at the finish line, waiting for his girlfriend Erin to cross, he became the victim of the explosion that defined his life. He survived, and with that came interviews from news channels and book deals. The city practically adopted him. However, nobody asked Jeff if he wanted to be a symbol. Behind the cameras, he was drowning in PTSD and survivor's guilt, and a family that loved loudly, which is exactly what a trauma survivor doesn't need. And then, his girlfriend drops what should frankly be good news.
Is this a fucking joke?
No, it's not a joke. Why would I joke about this?
Jeff has just found out he's going to be a father. But that's when the emotions came flooding back, and he's now painfully aware of his limited limbs.
What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to chase after him? Like I'm supposed to chase after him? How am I gonna take care of him? I fucking showed up for you! I showed up! I was standing there for you!
Oh,
and look where that got me!
This is not about the baby. And let's be clear, Jeff still loves Erin. This is about a man who barely survived a bombing, lost his legs, had his trauma turned into a public performance, and is now being asked to carry even more. The crash out was the first honest thing he'd allowed himself since the explosion. So Jeff, unlike the title of the movie, struggled to remain stronger after his ordeal. Just like Tobey Maguire's Sam Cahill, whose PTSD finally erupted into a legendary movie crash out. Sam Cahill was a good man, a good father, husband, and soldier for his country. But after he went to Afghanistan, he came back carrying something he could never tell his family about.
Waste of food and water. Kill it.
Forced to kill his fellow comrade, this secret became the primary source of his internal torment. And to make matters worse, he also thinks his wife and brother are keeping another secret from him. Sam, who is already on edge, snaps during his daughter's birthday, and she instantly makes him feel even more insecure.
Couldn't you just stay dead?
Isabel.
You're just mad because Mom would rather sleep with Uncle Tommy than you.
Wow, okay. Isabel has like zero chill. The man only burst her balloon, but she replied by bursting his whole bubble of sanity. So Tommy's resulting outburst has been long overdue.
You know what I did to get back to you?
No.
You know what I did? The fucking get back to you!
Sam carried the trauma of war and ending the life of a fellow comrade all alone. And to return to a family that hits him where it hurts is truly one of the saddest things we've seen in cinema history. The prospect of losing a loved one is enough to drive one mad. Just ask Hugh Jackman's Keller Dover from Prisoners. To really understand Dover's nightmare, you have to put yourself in his shoes. Your daughter is 6 years old. She was playing outside on Thanksgiving, and now she's gone. This is the plot of the 2013 movie, which follows the abduction of two girls, Dover's daughter and her friend, and his attempts to find them when the police is, well, sitting on their asses. Although the police have a suspect, they let him go because he appears to have a mental capacity of a 10-year-old, but not before Dover gets his hands on him.
Tell me what you did with him!
Tell me! They didn't cry until I left them.
However, what frustrates Dover even more is the detective who's hellbent on doing everything by the book.
The bag of lye in your basement is half empty.
Yep, that's a detective accusing Dover of taking matters into his own hands. I mean, I don't know what else he expected from a desperate man who's just about had it with the police.
And why did you look for my fucking daughter rather than fucking...
Hey.
Don't follow me.
Hey.
Yeah, there is no argument against this crash out. Not a single one. He's a father whose daughter is missing, yet is surrounded by procedure while every second makes it less likely she comes home, making Dover's outburst one of the most valid crash outs in cinema history.